I went from that to 120k a year, and in my second year we doubled that to about 250k. And even the craziest part of it all, I don't own these properties. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video, I just want to talk to you guys about what rent to rent is. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is rent to rent? So I just wanted to shed some light on what rent to rent is and how I've been using this property investment strategy to build a six-figure property business. So just stay tuned and listen to the end, because I've got some juicy information for you. But before I get started, please hit the subscribe button and like and comment and let me know what you think about this video in the end. So what is rent to rent? As the name implies, rent to rent is a property investment strategy where you rent a property from the owner and you rent it out again on a room by room basis usually, or you rent it out as a serviced accommodation. When you do a rent to rent and you rent it out on a room by room basis, this is also known as a multi-let. And rent to rent lasts usually for 3 to 5 years, and they're usually on a guaranteed rent basis. So what is in there for the landlord is that you guarantee their rent. They don't have any voids, and you also manage the property for the landlord at no extra cost. Unlike agents would normally charge a certain percentage of the rent or some sort of fixed fee to manage the property for the landlord. But with the rent to rent strategy, you manage the property for free, and these are some of the benefits that the landlord would get and what would kind of inspire him to give his property to you. This strategy is a highly lucrative property investment strategy, and it doesn't require any experience, it doesn't require a lot of money, it doesn't require you to have a perfect credit score. It's literally something that you can get started with today if you get the right information and you know exactly what to do. So how does rent to rent work? How can you actually make money from rent to rent? So effectively, you take control of the landlord's or the landlady's property and you run it just like the homeowner would for the entire length of your tenancy. So let's kind of break this down. So a 3-bed house with 2 reception rooms, and you've agreed £1,500 monthly rent. So it's got 2 reception rooms, which means you can convert those 2 rooms into individual bedrooms as well, so making it 5 bedrooms in total that you'd get. So let's say you rent each of those rooms out for about $550 on average. So you got 5 rooms at $550, which brings it up to about $2,750 at the end of the month. So you pay the landlord $1,500, you have £1,250 left. You deduct about £350 to £400 for your monthly bills. So what I say as well, and just as a general rule of thumb, is just take out about 100 to 150 every month. Put that aside for like voids or maintenance. So your total expenses plus the rent that you'd have to pay the owner would be about $2,050. That means almost all your expenses are out, but you're left with a profit of about £700. This is how rent to rent works. If you can negotiate a very good monthly rent from the homeowner, if you can try and get them to bring down the rent, you make more money. This is why negotiation is a key skill to be successful at rent to rent. Technically, once you've paid the homeowner, paid all your bills and all your expenses for the month, the difference between the money the tenants paid and what you paid the landlord plus your bills and other expenses becomes your profit. In this case, about 700 to 750. I don't think that's bad. I would rather get 700 to 750 pounds a month than get nothing. However, most of my properties generate over £1,000 every month, and I can talk to you guys about this a bit later on how to maximize profit with rent to rent. So now imagine making about 700 to 1,000 plus a month from just one property. Imagine how much more you could get when you've got 3, 4, even 10 properties. How many of these properties would you need to replace your current job, current monthly salary? In my case, I was working as a social therapist for the NHS, and it took 1.5 properties, essentially 2 properties, to replace my day job. And now I've quit my job and I am living job free. So rent to rents are usually based on a long-term tenancy agreement, so usually 3 to 5 years, because this just makes it easier for the landlord to just kind of give you their property, because for the next 3 to 5 years they don't have to worry about rent or tenants. You deal with all the headache and they just get their money, and you also make money as well. Obviously, a guaranteed rent, it's not child's play, right? So what this technically means is that you cannot afford to have any voids. if you're a rent-to-rent property investor, you can't afford to have any voids. You can't afford to have months where you don't have tenants, because you still have to pay the landlord his money, and now you're going to be out of pocket. So this is why it's essential to always make sure that your rooms are always fully tenanted. This is just one route you could go with rent to rent. You could either go the multi-let route, where you rent the room out on a room by room basis, or you could go the SA route, which is my favorite route. I mean, I've done the multi-lets, I've done the essays. I love both of them, but currently I'm just really enjoying doing the serviced accommodation. So basically, serviced accommodation, it's like holiday rental, basically Airbnb, booking.com, this sort of apartments that you see on booking.com. That's basically what service accommodation is. It's another way you can make serious money with rent to rent. You basically rent a property and you put it out on Airbnb and other platforms as a holiday rental, and you can make anywhere from 1,000 to 4, 5, even it's limitless how much money you can make with a service accommodation. As I would say that on average I make anywhere between £5,000 to £8,000 a month just from Airbnb. And I'm going to show you one of my Airbnb properties, which is a self-contained studio apartment which cash flows about £2,800 a month. It sleeps up to 4 people. It is always fully booked. The best thing that I love the most about this strategy is that it can set you on your way to financial freedom in no time. Like in such a short period of time, you can go from 0 to 100 like real quick, because you make lots of profit in such a short period of time. I started in 2018. I started with solely multi-let, and in my first year I made over 120k revenue in the first year of business, and I was blown away because I was working at a normal job where I was earning average salary 25,000 a year, and then I went from that to 120k a year. It was absolutely mind-blowing. And even the craziest part of it, or the most insane thing, I don't own these properties. Like, I do not own these properties. I didn't have to put down tens of thousands of money for deposit to buy a house. I didn't have to go through crazy credit check and like legal processes and whatnot just to get a property. I didn't have to do all of that, and I have been making a fortune out of it. And in my second year we doubled that to about 250k in our second year, and now in our third year going to our fourth year, we are even on our way to double what we made in the first year. It's absolutely insane. That's the best thing about rent to rent. You do not have to own the property. This strategy is just perfect for anybody and everybody who wants to get on the property ladder but can't quite get there or don't know how to start. This is the easiest way to start. You can start with little or no money. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's very, like, all you need is just a few hours a week and you can have a successful property investment business. When I started, I was working full-time. I was studying full-time, doing a master's degree full-time. I was pregnant and about to have a newborn, and I did eventually have a newborn. So I literally had 3 full-time engagements, and I was still able to do property on the side, very minimal hours a week, and I was still able to make 120k a year. Like, how insane is that? Another benefit of the rent-to-rent strategy, you get an immediate, consistent cash flow. The minute you get a property, by the end of your first month, you're already getting profit. As long as you've got your place fully tenanted, you're making money and it's constant. And in the end, you have a high cash flowing business whilst providing services to people who actually need it, the landlord and the tenants. It's a win-win situation for everybody. Anybody and everybody can do this. No more excuses, no more procrastination, no more faffing about doing things that you don't like. It's time to actually take a bold step. Get out of your comfort zone. Property investment has changed my life in such a short time, and I can guarantee that it will change yours too if you just follow the system. I hope this video has been insightful to you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think about it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you all in my next video. Stay safe and God bless.